stands out on this North Carolina offense?
Both of those guys, those guys are good. You got those two, Switzer, bunch of good players. Quinn Shot outside. They got a bunch of good players on the offense.
As a unit as a whole, what do they do that makes them so tough to defend?
I think that fast-paced offense, and then they know what they're doing. As an offense, they know what they're true to their identity. Whoa! Did I do that? Or was it already
I don't think you did anything.
You're sitting back a little bit.
It was right there when I sat down.
You just wanted to get a
Yeah, that's what it was.
sit up just a little.
Okay. Gotcha.
It has happened before.
All right. We're good?
You don't want to fall the other way.
Yeah.
You got the Marquise on Saturday.
But I think they know what they're doing. They're pretty balanced. Everybody thinks of them as an air raid team. They're pretty balanced. They run the ball pretty well. They got some good zone schemes behind them, but I just think they're confident in what they're doing and they execute very well.
Does it help going against your offense every day in practice?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's kind of similar. They're good players on the outside, good quarterback, good running back. So it's very similar. Their offensive line is pretty good. Got some good guys in there. Landon Turner's a really good player. So it's really similar going against them and going against our offense.
The fact that you're a North Carolina guy, you're going to be playing for the ACC championship in Charlotte against North Carolina is just kind of the perfect culmination for you personally. And will this be the most special game?
Oh yeah. Anytime I get to play against UNC, it's a special game. That was my dad's favorite team, so I always get to play against them and just get to play hard, and it's fun because I know a lot of guys on that team, so there's a big recruiting in state, but it'll be good going against them this Saturday.
And I know you grew up a Duke basketball fan, so probably have a lot of Duke fans on your side.
Oh yeah, obviously. I didn't really like them in football, UNC. So just being a Duke basketball fan just makes that anger towards them grow a little bit more.
What has Shaq meant to this defense, both from a production standpoint and just his personality and what he brings?
From a production standpoint, it's a lot. He produces a lot, makes a lot of plays for us. Great player to have on your side of the ball, definitely. And from a personal standpoint, he keeps us kind of relaxed. He makes sure things aren't too tense all the time. He's always joking, making jokes and stuff. So things are very relaxed when you're around Shaq. And they're intense when they need to be, but for the most part, they're pretty relaxed. And we can count on him to do his job just like he can count on us to do our job.
And how does it fire you guys up when he gets a tackle for a loss? That's been his specialty this year.
We're excited every time every player gets a tackle for a loss, and so anytime we can do that, that's what we pride ourselves on as a defense. He takes great pride in that. So we're all over. We're amped up every time somebody makes a big play. Last weekend especially, seeing him and BJ make those plays they made, especially being from South Carolina, growing up in this rivalry, it was good for those two. And it was great being a teammate watching those two accomplish those things out there on the field.
How do you feel about the way this defense has played the past few weeks? Has you played up to expectations?
We don't worry about other people's expectations too much. We think we've played to our expectations. A few big plays here and there, but I think we definitely can get better. You can always get better, and as far as the defense standpoint, we think that we're playing pretty good. And of course, we want to correct some of the mistakes, but we're always confident in ourselves, so we think that we're playing pretty good.
Going up against an offense like that, which UNC has, what are the biggest things this defense needs to do to ensure that you don't give up those big plays?
Execute. That's a game plan week in and week out. We got to execute every week, and if we don't execute, then we're going to give up that big play. And just be smart. Put a good. I know the coach is going to put a great game plan together. They do every week, but there's no perfect calls. There's no perfect calls. There's no perfect plays. It's about players going out and executing those plays. So if we go out and execute, then I think we'll have a great chance of doing what we need to do against UNC.
Williams is a guy who can run the ball as well as throw it. What challenges does that bring, especially for your position, having to read what he does?
As far as my position, I don't really read the quarterback too much. I'm more so reading the offensive line. So I think, that they'll give play action, they'll give run pass sets, just being able to recognize those quicker and watching film and play a lot into that this week. I know I'll be in the film room a lot this week trying to recognize play action, whether they're coming off as a true run, whether it's flat zone, or whether it's power, or anything like that. So, I think just film study definitely play a lot into it.
And can pushing your guy into the backfield kind of disrupt a lot of things that they want to do?
Oh yeah, always. I'm not really a finesse guy. I'm more of a power guy. So I come with a lot of power rushes, and I think just getting that pocket push, and that's what we're gonna have to do with him. We can't run around blocks with him because he's gonna be able to find those gaps and kill us if we don't. There's gonna be a lot of power rushing out there this weekend. So I think if we can just push that pocket up in his face and let it collapse on him, not let him get outside or not let him seep through those little gaps inside, then we'll be fine.
Seems like this defense has always been able to get a big stop when the team has needed it to. You've only been behind for a few minutes all season long, but you've given up a lot of big plays when you had a 2 or 3 score lead. Is it hard to find the same intensity when you've got a comfortable lead?
I don't think so. I think it's just we kind of take our mind off a little bit, and it's not that we're not intense about it. We don't execute as well. Maybe it's we don't feel as comfortable in something that we've called or something. I can't really tell based on that, because I feel like every time we go out there it's pretty intense. But it's something. We'll get it figured out. We gotta keep working. Like I said, there's no perfect plays and no perfect calls, so we just gotta keep working to get it figured out.
Dabo's talked about how tough it's been, this team having to play 10 weeks in a row. Has it been an advantage to you at all that you don't have as many games on your body this year?
I think so. I'm not as beat up as some of the guys are, and I think it helps. But our guys do a great job taking care of the body with the cold tubs and ice tubs and stuff. So I think we are a little beat up somewhere, but our trainers do a good job of getting us back out there, and then we do a good job of rehabbing ourselves. And we work hard to make sure that we're able to be fresh on Saturday.